Everywhere you look, people seem richer than ever. Luxury cars fill the streets. Designer brands dominate social media. Expensive vacations appear on your timeline every day. It feels like everyone is winning, everyone except you. But what if the entire picture is backwards? What if the people who look rich are often the ones struggling the most? And what if the people building real wealth are intentionally trying not to look wealthy at all? Because hidden beneath the luxury lifestyle is a financial trap that has quietly stolen the future from millions of people. A trap so powerful that many spend decades working for money, only to spend that money trying to impress people who aren't paying attention. Today, we're exposing the hidden psychology behind status, spending, and the dangerous illusion of wealth. And by the end of this video, you may never look at luxury the same way again. Let's start with a story. Meet David and Michael. Both men earn exactly the same salary. They work similar jobs, receive similar paychecks, and have access to the same opportunities. But 10 years from now, their financial lives will look completely different. David loves the appearance of success. He drives a luxury car. He wears designer clothes. He upgrades to the newest phone every year. His social media is filled with expensive restaurants, vacations, and lifestyle purchases. To everyone around him, David looks wealthy. People admire him. Some even envy him. When friends see his lifestyle, they assume he's doing exceptionally well financially. After all, that's what success is supposed to look like, right? Now let's look at Michael. Michael drives a modest car. His clothes are ordinary. He keeps his phone until it actually needs replacing. He doesn't feel the need to prove anything to strangers. Most people would never guess how much money he earns. In fact, some might assume he's less successful than David. But there's something nobody sees. Every month, Michael quietly invests part of his income. While David spends to maintain an image, Michael buys assets. While David upgrades his lifestyle, Michael builds ownership. While David focuses on looking wealthy, Michael focuses on becoming wealthy. If you saw both men today, most people would assume David is richer. But wealth and the appearance of wealth are not the same thing. In fact, they often move in opposite directions. Every dollar spent maintaining an image is a dollar that cannot be invested. Every effort devoted to impressing others is energy not devoted to building long-term financial strength. And that's where the illusion begins. Most people judge wealth by what they can see: the car, the watch, the clothes, the house. But real wealth is often invisible. It's the money that hasn't been spent, the investments quietly growing in the background, the assets producing income while nobody is watching. And this is where countless people make a costly mistake. They spend years chasing the appearance of wealth without realizing they're sacrificing the very thing they're trying to achieve. Because the greatest illusion in modern society is believing that looking rich and being rich are the same thing. They're not. To understand why, we need to look at human psychology. Long before luxury brands, social media, or sports cars existed, human beings lived in tribes. And in those tribes, status wasn't just about popularity. Status often meant survival. People with higher status had greater access to resources, stronger social connections, and more opportunities. Over thousands of years, the human brain evolved to care deeply about social standing. That instinct helped our ancestors survive. The problem is that while the world has changed dramatically, our brains haven't changed nearly as much. Today, we still crave status. But instead of earning it through tribal influence, we signal it through possessions. Luxury cars, designer brands, expensive watches, large homes, exclusive experiences. These have become modern status symbols. A luxury watch doesn't just tell time. A luxury car doesn't simply provide transportation. Each one sends a message. Look at me, I'm successful, I'm important. And here's what's fascinating. Most people believe they're buying products, but often they're buying social signals. They're purchasing the feeling of recognition, admiration, and importance. That's why status spending can become addictive. Every compliment feels rewarding. Every moment of attention feels validating. For a brief moment, you feel elevated, but the feeling never lasts. Because status is a moving target. The luxury car becomes normal. The expensive watch becomes ordinary. The bigger house becomes expected. And suddenly, what once felt extraordinary no longer feels like enough. This creates a cycle millions of people never escape. They keep upgrading their lifestyle, hoping the next purchase will finally make them feel successful. But success, built on comparison, is impossible to satisfy because there will always be someone with a bigger house, a more expensive car, a more luxurious lifestyle. And that's where the trap begins. Most people don't go broke trying to survive. They go broke trying to be seen. Look closely at modern spending habits. People buy cars they can't comfortably afford. They stretch themselves financially for larger homes. They purchase things they don't need because of what those things represent. Respect, validation, belonging, power. These are emotional motivations, not financial ones. And emotions are exactly what marketers understand. Advertising rarely sells products. It sells identities. It tells you who you could become, who you should become, who others might see you as. The message is always the same. Buy this, and you'll be admired. Buy this, and you'll belong. Buy this, and you'll feel successful. But what advertising rarely mentions is the hidden cost. Because every time you convert money into status, you're also converting potential freedom into temporary approval. And approval doesn't compound, it fades, then demands more. That is the status trap, a cycle where people spend their best financial years trying to look like they've already made it while quietly delaying the process of actually making it. Now let's talk about the hidden cost. Imagine a $1,000 luxury purchase, a designer item, a premium gadget, an experience designed to impress. At first glance, the cost seems simple. You spend $1,000. You receive something in return. End of story. But financially, that's never the full story. Because the true cost of any purchase isn't just the money you spend. It's what that money could have become. That $1,000 could have been invested. It could have grown. It could have generated returns. And when these decisions are repeated, month after month and year after year, the difference becomes enormous. This is the power of compounding. Compounding doesn't reward appearances, it rewards consistency. At first, the gap between two people seems small. One spends slightly more, the other invests slightly more. But over time, those small differences stop being small. One person collects status symbols, the other collects assets. One builds a lifestyle that requires constant income. The other builds a financial foundation capable of producing income. And eventually the gap becomes impossible to ignore. This is why wealth is rarely built through one big decision. It's built through hundreds of small decisions repeated over time. Each choice either strengthens your financial future or weakens it. And the consequences often remain invisible until years later. Which brings us to something surprising. Many genuinely wealthy people don't look wealthy at all. Research has repeatedly found that many millionaires live far more modestly than people expect. Many don't drive flashy cars. Many don't wear expensive clothing. Many don't live lives designed to attract attention. Why? Because they understand a simple distinction. Assets create wealth. Appearances consume wealth. That single idea explains more financial outcomes than income ever will. Two people can earn exactly the same salary and end up in completely different financial situations. One converts income into visible status. The other converts income into ownership. One focuses on looking successful. The other focuses on becoming financially secure. And over time, the results speak for themselves. The person chasing appearances often finds themselves trapped in a cycle of upgrades. A better car, a bigger house, a more expensive lifestyle. Each step feels like progress, but each step also increases financial pressure. Meanwhile, the person focused on ownership is building something very different. Investments, assets, options, freedom, and that leads to one of the most important mindset shifts in personal finance. Poor mindset asks, how can I look wealthy? Wealth-building mindset asks, how can I become wealthy? At first, the difference seems small, but it's actually a completely different way of thinking. One prioritizes perception. The other prioritizes accumulation. One focuses on today. The other focuses on the future, and that future depends on one skill more than any other. Delayed gratification. The ability to sacrifice a smaller reward now for a larger reward later. Human beings naturally prefer immediate rewards, immediate comfort, immediate pleasure, immediate recognition. But wealth requires patience. Every financial decision involves a trade-off. You can enjoy money now, or allow it to grow and enjoy more later. The people who consistently build wealth understand this principle. They don't avoid spending entirely. They simply become intentional. They ask different questions. Will this purchase improve my life? Or am I trying to impress someone? Is this an asset? Or is it an appearance? Will this decision move me closer to freedom? Or further away from it? Those questions sound simple, but over time, they can completely change a person's financial future. Because wealth is not created by one brilliant investment. It's created by repeated behavior. The daily habits nobody sees, the discipline nobody applauds, the choices that seem insignificant in the moment but become life-changing over decades. And that's why the people who eventually achieve financial freedom often look ordinary while they're building it. They're not trying to win the status game. They're playing a different game entirely. A game focused on ownership rather than optics, freedom rather than attention, long-term security rather than short-term admiration. So, the next time you see someone driving an expensive car or living a lifestyle designed to signal success, remember something important. You are seeing spending. You're not necessarily seeing wealth, because real wealth is often invisible. It's the investment account nobody talks about, the assets quietly generating income, the financial security hidden behind an ordinary lifestyle. The people who look rich are often spending money. The people becoming rich are often investing money. One seeks admiration, the other builds freedom. And decades from now, only one of those choices compounds. Because wealth is not what people see. Wealth is what remains after the applause fades. The question is simple. Are you building an image, or are you building a future? Watch next. The hidden truth about money. No one taught you how to build wealth from nothing.